In 2 days, Justin Herbert and Mike McDaniel did something more revealing than any practice score. They praised players for mastering the system, not just flashing talent. That tells us where the real competition is unfolding. Inside communication, assignment ownership, and trust. Bolt fam, get ready. We're following the tracks of an offense that is rebuilding its protection, freeing an underused weapon, redefining TE1, and making room for an unlikely rookie. Subscribe to Los Angeles Chargers News Today right now, because the 2026 blueprint is already showing up in the conversations coming out of camp. The first clue sits at center, where one mistake rarely appears alone in the box score. Bozeman is gone. Linderbaum got a deal from the Raiders above Los Angeles' price range, and the Chargers refused a bidding war. Tyler Biadasz arrived for a fraction of the cost. The quieter move may have hit the most sensitive problem. Biadasz said his chemistry with Justin Herbert keeps improving. He called Herbert incredibly smart, a great teammate, and an off-field friend, adding that their relationship grows daily. In August, that can sound like standard camp courtesy. From a new center, though, it points to off-camera work, reviewing calls, building shared language, correcting details between reps, and gaining enough trust to adjust protection without turning every snap into a conference. But Bolt fam, here is where the story gets interesting. This signing does not need to produce a Pro Bowl center. It needs to restore normalcy to a spot that created instability in front of Herbert. Bozeman had snaps where he lost an assignment or got beaten early, while the quarterback absorbed much of the blame for plays that broke before developing. When pressure starts inside, clean footwork cannot rescue the design. Herbert loses room to climb, deep roots outlast the protection, and the coordinator starts cutting pages from his playbook. Biadasz can change that chain reaction without becoming a weekly headline. The center identifies fronts, communicates adjustments, coordinates combination blocks in the run game, and has to know how his quarterback reacts when the defense shifts after the cadence. Mike McDaniel wants movement, outside zone, fast processing, and playmakers catching the ball with room to create. That requires 5 blockers operating on one clock. If Biadasz and Herbert are already building that language, the payoff goes beyond avoiding sacks. There is another structural clue. Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt already have proven chemistry with Herbert on the edges. Biadasz now anchors the middle, but left guard remains unsettled. Stability among the 4 most important names, Herbert, Slater, Alt, and Biadasz, could limit the damage of having one job still open. The new center will have to help whoever wins it recognize pressure and execute the combinations that reach the second level. That is why missing on Linderbaum does not feel like failure. At his price, the Chargers kept their resources and bet on a veteran who brings fit, experience, and communication. The return only has to be real, dependable interior protection, fewer mental mistakes, and a relationship with Herbert that can survive rough weeks. If that happens, McDaniel can call the offense he imagined, not the one his line can barely keep alive. The biggest Week 1 development may be simple. Quarterback and center are learning to think together. That can separate a good plan on the board from production on Sundays. Once the middle starts settling, the question changes. Who benefits first? Lad McConkey looks like he is answering it in practice. One deep connection with Herbert during teamwork does not decide a season or guarantee volume. It shows McDaniel is testing a version of the receiver that stayed hidden through much of 2025. McConkey had a strong rookie year, mostly from the slot. In year 2, Keenan Allen's return and the limits of Greg Roman's passing game squeezed that role. Allen became the security blanket underneath and in the intermediate areas when protection failed. The effect covered McConkey's stat line: 66 catches, 789 yards, 6 touchdowns, and a drop from 10.3 to 7.4 yards per target. He did not forget how to win. The offense stopped asking for enough of what makes him different. Inside McDaniel's system, McConkey becomes more valuable because speed is not limited to running straight. He changes direction without losing acceleration, finds space from the slot, and can catch the ball in motion. That forces a defense to decide before the snap who follows him and who protects the middle. A short throw becomes a pursuit test. Horizontal movement pulls a linebacker. Once the corner starts jumping that action, the vertical route opens again. That combination, not one pretty catch in August, is the foundation for the optimism. A strategic correction is taking shape. Herbert cannot return to an offense that funnels every emergency answer through one veteran. McDaniel can spread the solutions. McConkey attacking space, Quentin Johnston bringing size and speed, Trey Harris offering another physical profile, and Brennan Thompson stretching the field. The more varied those threats become, the harder it is to dictate Herbert's answer with pressure. Ladd does not need to dominate targets. He needs chances where his quickness turns a sliver of separation into a big gain. I am buying the growth, but I am not crowning a practice rep. Repetition is the real signal. McConkey moving across formations, getting targets beyond the safe areas, and staying in the plan when defenses pressure Herbert. If all three continue through the preseason, his 2025 numbers will look more like a product of the old environment than a limit on the player. The quiet consequence reaches everyone. An activated McConkey changes how defenses treat the formation. Safeties must honor his burst, linebackers get pulled into uncomfortable coverage, and inside windows can open for a group McDaniel plans to feature more often. That group is the tight end room, where the flashiest catch will not decide the competition. Oronde Gadsden II owns the explosive argument. After opening last season as a healthy scratch, he seized his chance and posted 32 catches, 453 yards, and 2 touchdowns in his first 7 NFL appearances. When the offense needed life, he delivered field-changing plays. McDaniel's room demands a different calculation. Charlie Kolar signed for 3 years and $24 million because his blocking fits an outside zone system built around 2 and 3 tight end packages. David Njoku expands the group's possibilities, but Kolar can claim the TE1 label if he turns his specialty into the foundation and adds a receiving threat Baltimore rarely explored. After Saturday's practice, Kolar said he was excited about a larger role. He joked that he wants the ball on every play and expects more opportunities than he had with the Ravens. The comment carries more weight once you look at Baltimore's hierarchy. Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely ranked above him as targets. Kolar saw only 41 passes come his way in 4 seasons and played fewer than 30% of the offensive snaps in each of his first 3 years. His hands are not an August invention. As a senior at Iowa State, he caught 62 passes for 756 yards and 6 touchdowns. The NFL put him in the blocking box. The Chargers appear ready to open it without losing what he already does well. The tactical detail will decide this battle. If Kolar sets the edge without announcing run and runs enough routes to punish heavier defenses, McDaniel can keep the same personnel while changing the play's intent. Gadsden remains the explosive threat. Njoku handles specific assignments. Kolar holds the package together. TE1 in this offense may not lead the room in catches. It may be the player who keeps the defense from solving the plan before the snap. The next step is seeing whether Kolar gets those chances against the first unit. Wanting the ball starts the conversation. Complete execution ends the competition. While Kolar tries to prove his game is bigger than Baltimore showed, Brennan Thompson faces a tougher assignment. Convincing an NFL staff that his speed comes with the command required to play. The strongest praise is not focused on the rookie's legs. It comes from people who need to trust he will be exactly where he belongs. Justin Herbert praised the receiver first. One day later, Mike McDaniel went deeper, saying Thompson captured the quarterback room's attention through his attack and ownership of the offense. Ownership unlocks this camp story. A fast rookie can win 1 rep and hit the practice highlight reel. Real snaps demand more. He must hear the call, translate the concept, identify his responsibility against the coverage, and adjust the route on the quarterback's clock. McDaniel explained that transition. Plenty of players arrive from college systems without huddles and use visual help from the sideline. In the NFL, the assignment comes verbally. A player hears it, stores it, connects the formation to his job, and executes against a disguised defense. When McDaniel says Thompson is owning that process, he is praising more than raw speed, reliability taking shape. The depth chart has not disappeared. Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnston, and Trey Harris enter camp with stronger positions. Thompson must stack good days, handle increased contact in pads, and show value on special teams. His speed could put him in the mix as a returner or coverage player, while the offense finds ways to stretch the defense. The path is narrow, but no longer invisible. This connects to everything before it. Biotish is trying to give Herbert time and clarity. McConkey can threaten multiple levels again. The tight ends can disguise heavy personnel. Thompson might pull a safety from the middle with acceleration alone. He does not need 8 targets to affect a game. Sometimes he only needs to force the secondary back and create room for everyone else. The test is whether praise becomes a role. Thompson must command the playbook as the installation grows, mistakes get corrected publicly, and preseason action removes the shelter of controlled practices. If he keeps winning over the quarterback room, McDaniel will struggle to treat him like a distant project. Coaches find packages for players their quarterback trusts. That is how a camp riser starts becoming a Sunday option. Bolt Nation, this is our Bolt signal. Who should Thompson pressure first, Johnston or Harris? Drop your read in the comments and tell me if special teams should be his immediate path. The rookie is still climbing, but a door that looked closed is cracked open. His preparation, not only his speed, put his hand on the handle. The Chargers are still installing this offense, but the work behind the scenes has revealed one standard. Trust grows when intelligence gets executed at full speed. Biotish is sinking protection with Herbert. McConkey is reclaiming space that fits his talent. Kohler is chasing TE1 through versatility. Thompson is turning study into opportunity. These are not four separate stories. They are layers of McDaniel's plan. Bolt fam, I need your opinion on this one. Who gains the most if it works? Herbert, McConkey, or the entire offense? Comment, subscribe, and stay with Bolt Nation. We are watching it come together, detail by detail.